Hi, and welcome back. Now, I would like to share with you today one of the most powerful breakthrough insights that has directly affected my life. It's really opened up an abundance of opportunities for me. Now, I've spent the last 10 years, my passion has been researching super successful individuals to understand what makes them tick in life. And the common denominator that you discover, you look around and see anyone who's achieving a super successful life, anyone you look up to and admire in your life today, pick anyone. It could be a famous person, it could be a friend, a relation, someone that's achieved the very peak of their game, whatever field that they're operating in. The common denominator you find that underpins success in all walks of life is this factor we call energy. So let me ask you, how much energy are you living your life with? Are you waking up in the morning with bags of enthusiasm for the day ahead, with an abundance of energy that will just carry you through your day on the crescendo of a wave? It's the sort of energy and enthusiasm that helps you turn problems into opportunities, to help you unlock your passion and drive, so any barriers that you do hit through the course of the day are just dissolved. So how do we live life with greater energy? How do we live life with this passion, with this enthusiasm? Well, let me ask you, what are the key sources of energy in your life? If you're committed to living life with greater energy, what are the key sources of energy for you? Where does your energy come from? One thing you cannot get away from is the source of that energy is inside you. The energy comes from within. It's inside you right now, but compare how you're feeling right now to a time in your life where you truly have been at the peak of your game, a time where you've experienced phenomenal energy in your life. Perhaps it's been at work, as part of a team, maybe on the sports field, or doing an activity you just love that fills you with passion. I'd like you to go back and think about that time in your life just now. Bring it back to life and just notice what you're truly capable of when you are playing full out at the peak of your game. My passion and the work we do through Energy Alchemy is we share powerful breakthrough techniques, tools and principles that help people achieve phenomenal outcomes in their life. So today I'd like to share with you some insights that will help you live life with greater energy. So coming back to the question of the sources of energy. You are what you eat, aren't you? Now obviously food is a source of energy, and if I was eating McDonald's for breakfast, lunch and dinner, would you agree it's not going to take long before my energy starts to dip and dive? I'll start to fatigue physically, mentally, I won't be as alert. Now I could shift and start eating a healthy organic lifestyle, and yes, that will make a difference, and I will start to feel more in balance and have more energy for the day ahead. So that's a factor. But really, what sort of step change difference is it going to drive? It will make a contribution, but is it going to turn me into the next super successful Richard Branson? It will make a small contribution, but on its own, not quite. In fact, David Blaine, if you remember him dangling in that plastic box over Tower Bridge for a month, he's demonstrated that actually we've got an abundance of energy stored that we carry with us. You know, we can go a long time without food. So it's not all about just what we eat. Another important factor is what we drink. The water that we take into our body, because there's so many of us, we live a lot of our life dehydrated. And if your body's dehydrated, the water that we drink and take in, it's like for me the oil that keeps the machinery ticking over, operating at its very best. So if you're dehydrated, if you're not keeping yourself well hydrated through the course of the day, physically that will have an effect, and mentally it will have an effect too. You'll be operating at less than your peak potential. So again, we've got to take care of the foundations, but for me these are the hygiene factors. Look after, the food that we're putting into our body, the liquid, the oil that's keeping the machinery ticking over. But ultimately these factors again will not turn you into the next Richard Branson on their own. Something else, if you look at the food, now that's solid matter. The water, that's liquid. Something more subtle than both those things, the air that we breathe. Now for most of us, we're born with this ability to breathe, and we never think about it for the rest of our life. It's a subconscious process. So I would like to invite you to open up to the possibility that you can instantaneously increase your health, well-being and vitality just by starting to consciously breathe. So I'd like to invite you to join me. Just sit comfortably in your chair and let's do 2 full cycle conscious breaths together. And just notice your energy just now, how you feel, mentally and physically. And just, you might benefit from closing your eyes here. Just take a deep, well, first of all, empty your lungs completely. Breathe out. And pause before you breathe in. Completely. And pause before you breathe out. And hold before you breathe in. And hold before you relax. And just notice how you're feeling mentally and physically as a result of 2 full conscious breaths. Simple techniques that we can use to shift our energy moment to moment. So what else can we do? What else can we look at? Well, we've looked at the food that we eat, the liquid that we drink, the air that we breathe. Let's go even more subtle. What about the thoughts that you think? Science is really starting to get a grip on the fact that our thoughts are a subtle form of energy that are not just contained within the brain. They pervade all time and space. And the thoughts you create in your mind, you're constantly sending out like a TV transmitter station. Do you not notice that super successful people that have this passion, this drive that we all aspire to, they get out of bed in the morning with this bounce in their step, and do you not notice they always seem to have something worth getting out of bed for in the morning? They always seem to be moving towards something, some goal, some dream, some aspiration. Well, the research shows that those who have goals and have made commitments in their life, and interestingly, those that have committed them to paper, the bigger the commitment you make to your goals, the bigger your passion and your desire to achieve those goals will be. For so many people, they live life aimlessly, wandering, meandering through life. Research showed with graduates back in Yale University that upon graduation, 85% of them didn't have any goals for their life. Only 15% of them did. You know what happened 20 years on? Do you know, just purely in a financial measure, and we know success is much bigger than just the finances, but it is definitely a factor. 20 years on, do you know that the 15% who had goals and had some sort of commitment to a future and creating that future, and who were constantly sending out that signal through their life, the 15% that had goals 20 years on were on average earning more than double the rest, double the 85%. So let me ask you a question. How would you like to double your income that you're earning right now? Because it's absolutely possible for you. Your life can be truly phenomenal. That's what I've discovered through the powerful principles and techniques that we now share through the Energy Alchemy programs. Every single one of us is capable of a phenomenal life. Now below, I'd like to invite you to come and join us for one of our seminars, The Secret of Success, to really discover how you can take your life to the next level, how you can unlock your true potential and become the person you're born to be. So scroll down the page, and if you're available, we'd love to see you at one of our events. Thank you very much for joining us today, and I do hope we'll see you again soon.